Hey, Stan Shields here. I am your host for the Network Las Vegas Spotlight interview. So today I'm going to interview at least one of our speakers that will be speaking at our meeting a little bit later today. If you're not familiar with Network Las Vegas, we are a networking group that's here in Las Vegas, and we've recently gone to having one hybrid meeting so that people can go to it in person or online, either way. We have one meeting that is still being done on Zoom. And then we have a monthly networking meeting that's really kind of a networking social that's in the evening, and people are able to then come hang out with us and network with other local business owners. Our typical meetings are the first and third Wednesday of the month, and we'll meet at 11:30 a.m. Again, one of them is hybrid, the other one is all online through the Zoom platform. So we'd love to have you come join us and see whether or not it's a good fit for you. You can find us at networklasvegas.com. Again, networklasvegas.com. It's at the top of the screen as well. So you can easily find us, and you'll see the schedule for all the networking meetings that are coming up, not only with us, but you'll see a slew of other networking meetings that are here in the Las Vegas Valley. So go check it out, networklasvegas.com. Now, if you are watching, well, we're broadcasting on three different platforms. So we are on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. For some reason, I always want to say Twitter. I have no idea why, but we are on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. So you're able to watch us on either of those platforms. Be sure to like, follow, subscribe, whatever the case may be on that platform. If you're watching on YouTube, be sure to ring the bell next to the subscribe button so that you get notified when we have new videos that are coming out. So today's guest is Satyra Tyler. I have to say her name slowly because the Satyra and the Tyler always messes me up. So Satyra, how are you today?
I am pretty awesome today, Stan. I have no complaints. How about you?
I am fantastic. So let's first of all let's have you do your 30-second introduction, your 30-second speech as if you were at a networking meeting. Do that to just kind of give everybody a little bit of an overview of who you are, and then we're going to dive into some questions, okay?
Yes, well, I am Satyra Tyler. I am a transplant to Las Vegas. I love hiking, and I am an all-star realtor. My passion is helping first-time home buyers, veterans, and people who are relocating here, and hopefully helping them fall in love with hiking too.
Fantastic. There we go. So we're going to dive into a little bit more about what Satyra does as a realtor, and maybe even how she does what she does and kind of her passion around it. But there was one thing I forgot to mention in the very beginning that I want to make sure I throw this in there, and then we'll talk about it a little bit more at the end potentially. But I did mention that we have a monthly live networking social that's once a month. It's usually the fourth Tuesday of the month. So the next one is coming up on May 24th. I believe that's the date. May 24th, 5 to 7 p.m. And it's going to be at Vice Realty, which is the east side of Flamingo Road. And you can find the info on that again on networklasvegas.com. You can get the details, and you're able to register there for that event as it's coming up. But let's focus more on Satyra at this point. So now what is it that made you decide to be a realtor in the first place?
So I kind of fell into real estate. I think I was telling you one time the very first job I ever had was in real estate. I was 15 years old and kind of developed a passion early on, and had the opportunity, of course, to learn more about it over the years, and just became full time in 2000 when I started in banking. And a lot of my drive is just about helping people. I just want to be able to help people reach their homeownership goal. Everybody needs a place to live. So whether they're, renting or buying, I want to be that advocate. I like helping people do that. So
Amazing. So now you have created something called what do you call it? The S. Tyler Real Estate Cooperative. What's that?
yes. So thank you for asking. I am super proud of this. So this is a platform that I set up with the intent of bringing information, bringing professionals in front of the customers. So my whole idea was, if we're all in the same room, then the customers have the opportunity to meet with industry professionals, people who are lenders, escrow officers, appraisers, and ask questions. I think a lot of times people are hesitant to take the step towards homeownership just because they're unfamiliar with the process. There's a lot of terms and processes that they just don't understand. So if I can create that friendly environment, which is what I did with S. Tyler Real Estate Cooperative, then now we're comfortable to talk to each other and ask questions, and it makes it a whole lot easier, right? It puts people, puts faces on the process, and it makes it easy. So
Nice. And so with this, then this is an event that you're doing it live. Is it online? Where do you do it?
So we started off originally doing it just 100% Zoom because I started, when COVID was at its peak. But as time has moved on, now it's hybrid. So people can join. It's every third Saturday of the month at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. They do have to register, but they can hop on a Zoom call, or they could come by our Henderson office and come in person again. And the whole intent is, to meet those professionals there. So everybody's welcome. At one point, it was really specific to real estate industry professionals. But the more I start talking to my customers, then they have needs beyond real estate, right? They're people, and so entrepreneurs, right? And so I'll bring other guest speakers on that I think can answer questions or provide information that's needed. So, for example, the meeting that's coming up this Saturday, May 21st, I actually have someone coming on who is a healthcare professional. She's an HR specialist. And so, what does that have to do with real estate, right? Well, it not necessarily has anything to do with real estate, but it's helping people, right? It's bringing information to folks. And so she'll come on and we'll talk about helping people manage, monitor, and maintain their credit. But she'll be speaking from an HR perspective, because people do have to have their credit check, their credit check sometimes when they're applying for employment. And I'll be speaking from the perspective of mortgage financing. So it's still, fulfilling that need.
Mm-hmm. And so that's a great point. I think that from a mortgage financing standpoint, I'm sure that at some point you have mortgage professionals that come on and will talk to that subject. But that's one of those things that I think, for especially maybe even first-time homebuyers, that they may not really realize what's required to be able to qualify for that home. And so getting that background information would be useful for people.
And that's absolutely right. So we will have a lender in the room who will be speaking also. And I'll also have a credit repair specialist there who'll speak and be able to answer questions. And so it all depends on who you ask, right? Who a home buyer should come to first, if they should start with the realtor or if they should start with the lender. If you ask me, of course, I'm going to say start with the realtor. But the next step would be to get them with someone to establish their budget, right? A lot of people kind of put the cart before the horse, and they'll start shopping for homes and looking for very expensive homes because we want what we want. But then when it's time to actually move forward, then it becomes difficult because they haven't established a budget, or they find out they really don't have a budget, that they have to do some work first.
Mm-hmm.
So speaking with the lender is definitely paramount.
So really, you're the connector in this whole thing. So somebody that wants to buy a home, if they start with you, you know all the right people to help them connect with, to connect all the dots, right? To put everything in place so that they actually know how much of a home they can afford. They know how much of a down payment they have, and they know that, oh, okay, this is the price range that we need to look in, and so that kind of thing. But you help them bring it all together. So in a way, it really does make sense for them to start with you as the realtor first.
Absolutely. And I actually like to call myself a relationship builder.
Okay.
I actually put that on my LinkedIn profile. I just felt like it fit. But, real estate is a relationship business. It's really not about just making a sale. It is about helping people get in the right relationship with people. So, and I'll give you an example. So sometimes I hear realtors say, that they have a specific lender partner that they work with, or they have a specific title partner that they work with. And I think that's great to an extent. For me, I actually have at least 3 that I work with, right? So, and my thing is, just because I have a great relationship with these lenders, it doesn't mean that my customer is going to have a great relationship with them. I want the customer, it's all about them. I want them to feel confident speaking with them, not just because I said so, but because they felt like they had, great rapport with them. So I'll send them 3 referrals. If you need a lender, and I know that you're looking for something specific, and I have a relationship with these 3 lenders who I know can do what it is you're trying to do, then I'll refer all 3 of them. And then now they have to build that relationship with the client to help them get what they need. And it usually, it works out real good that way.
Okay,
Some
great.
options.
So we had Dr. T was watching today, and Dr. T said, wow, so amazing, great nuggets. But she also had a question. So she put a question out here for you that says, I appreciate this intel, but also, is investment property an option as well?
Is it a option in terms of purchasing? Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So I do help people with investment properties. Las Vegas is the perfect place to invest. 54% of our market is owner occupied. The other 46% is non-owner occupied. So it's almost split down the middle. And right now, if you've been watching the market, you know that it's a lot of investors who are out here that's helping drive the prices up. You know,
Mm.
so yes,
Mm-hmm.
investment property is absolutely an option.
Wow. Okay. Very good. So now with you mentioned briefly that as we actually start to really try and wrap up here, but you mentioned briefly that your next meeting or your next cooperative is coming up on May 21st. So that's this coming Saturday, isn't it?
That is correct. That is this
Okay.
Saturday, and the link to register. Oh, you got it up here. Thank you
Mm-hmm.
for putting that up there. So it's free to register. It's free information. I just like to keep track of who's coming and that sort of thing, and to reach out to them to see what questions they have so that we can address it during the call. Because, again, the whole point is to get people talking, um,
Mm-hmm.
about what their concerns are. And so, yeah, they can register and hop on the call. It's an interactive meeting. I not only talk about, we're not only just going to talk about credit, but we're going to talk about the home buying process. And I give a market update as well.
Okay, good. All right. So, and it might be great for you to, once this broadcast is over, to go to the broadcast itself and put the link down below, because
Okay.
then it becomes a clickable link and it's much easier for people to get to it. With a bit.ly link, people have to, if they're typing it in, they have to remember that the capitalization letters matter. If you don't capitalize when it's supposed to be capitalized, that bit.ly link is not going to work. So make sure that if you're typing it in, the capitalizations are important, which is very different from normal web links. Usually the capitalization doesn't, but in this case it does. So be careful with that. But she can put the link down below on the actual recordings, and then you'll be able to click and go through and join her for that meeting. And so any last words, anything else you'd like to say before we sign off?
I'm gonna try to keep it short. But the bottom line is that I am here to serve Las Vegas customers, whatever it is they need that I can help them with in terms of their real estate goals. So I do offer alternatives to traditional purchases. So for those people who are, right at the cusp of becoming homeowners and they just need something to help them bridge the gap, I'm familiar with Trio. I'm a referral agent with them, so I can help with rent to own programs or NACA or other things like that. So if you're looking for a realtor who is resourceful and that is willing to work with you to help you reach your goals, whatever that time frame is, then I'm the person to contact. So give me a call.
All right, perfect. All right, so Satyra, hang on for a second. Don't go anywhere, okay? But for everyone, as you're watching, the again, networklasvegas.com. The links are right above my head. Come join us for one of the weekly meetings, the first and third Wednesday of the month, and join us for the monthly social. And check it out. See if it makes sense for you. If it's a good fit for you and your business. There's lots of different types of businesses that will join us for networking, but come visit and let's see if that is a good fit for you. So thanks for watching. And again, don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, whatever the case may be on whichever platform it is that you're on. And we will see you